Hi, back again to the Addashuk Movies Channel. In this channel you will be presented with reviews of selected and interesting movies and dramas to watch. We will back again after this intro to summarize a very interesting drama. This time we will summarize a very popular drama on Netflix titled Squid Game Season 1 Episode 3. To those of you who have not watched the earlier episodes, please go to the Addashuk Movies Channel to watch it. You can watch the previous Squid Game episode by tapping the link in the description in this video. Before we summarize this story, let's get to know the main characters in this third episode. The hero in this drama is Gi-Hong, participant number 456, and 8 other characters who are important in this episode 3. The 8 important characters are Sang-woo, participant number 218. Il-nam, participant number 001. Sae-biak, participant number 067. Deok-soo, participant number 101. Ali Abdul, participant number 199. Min Yu, participant number 212. Jun-ho, a police detective searching for his missing brother. Gyeong-gi, participant number 111, is also a doctor. At the beginning of the story in this episode 3, several vehicles are shown carrying participants who have fainted to the port of the ship. Meanwhile, Detective Jun-ho follows the car until they reach the port. Detective Jun-ho sees the cars waiting their turn to get on the ship. At the same time, Detective Jun-ho had sneaked and hid under one of the cars. Detective Jun-ho had been hiding in the car along with the unconscious participants. Then a masked man wanted to check on the participants in the car. Detective Jun-ho pretended to faint, then struggled with the masked man and killed the man. Then he changed clothes with the man, and threw the man's body into the sea. The ship had reached an island, and the cars carrying the participants had moved somewhere. Here the guards are shown taking all the participants to one room to change their clothes. Meanwhile, Sae-biak, who pretends to faint, has put the knife into the guard's pocket. After the clothes were changed, Sae-biak took back the knife. After that, all the participants had woken up from fainting. Gi-Hong has met his friends again. Gi-Hong didn't expect, they also re-entered the game. Meanwhile, it appears that the number of participants who re-entered the game was 187. The previous participants were 201, this means 14 people are no longer interested in the game. After that, Gi-Hong stated they should form a group to face the next game. Gi-Hong's group consists of Sang-woo, Il-nam and Ali Abdul. Meanwhile, Deok-soo also forms a group and invites Sae-biak to join their group, but Sae-biak disagrees because he thinks Deok-soo is an untrustworthy person. At the same time, Min Yu wants to join Deok-soo's group but is rejected by Deok-soo. Meanwhile, an official has reported the attendance of participants is as much as 93% only. which is 187 people out of 201 total participants who passed the first game. This black masked person known as frontman instructed to keep an eye on people who did not return to the game. Meanwhile, Detective Jun-ho, who was disguised as a masked man, entered the room because his task that day had been completed. Detective Jun-ho doesn't know actually which room number he should enter, but in his shirt pocket there is a room key that says room 029. That night, Minyu tells the masked guard to allow her to go to the toilet. Sae-byeok also wants to go to the toilet. When they arrived at the toilet, Sae-byeok had used a knife to open the airway cover. Sae-byeok's goal is to find information about the next game. She had sneaked into the kitchen and saw the masked officers are cooking sugar, after which they returned to their beds. Sae-byeok still do not know whether the next game. As they were about to go to bed, Sang-woo overheard their conversation. The next day the participants were given food for breakfast. Dr. Byung-gi, participant number 111, found something in his food. He found that was information about a game to be held after this. At the same time, Sang-woo asks Sae-byeok what she saw in the kitchen. Sae-byeok tells Sang-woo the guards are cooking sugar. Sang-woo has been able to guess what the next game will be. But Sang-woo doesn't tell his group members. He chose a triangular shape and told them they should choose different shapes. The shapes are triangular, star, round and umbrella shapes. Gi-Hong, who doesn't know what the next game is, chooses the umbrella shape, which is the hardest shape to separate. At the same time, Sae-byeok follows Sang-woo in line for participants who choose a triangular shape. Participants were then given a container in which there were sugar biscuits that had 4 shapes. Participants were required to separate the shapes without damaging the selected shape within 10 minutes. Participants are provided with a needle. The needle can be used to separate the shapes from the outside. If the shape on the sugar biscuit breaks, the participant will be deemed eliminated from the game. Eliminated means the participant will be shot. The participants worked hard to cut the outside carefully so that the shape of their choice was not damaged. For Gi-Hong, this situation is very stressful. One by one were shot dead for not their sugar biscuits were not successfully separated. Meanwhile, participants who chose a simple shape had successfully completed the game. Player number 111, he is a doctor named Byung-gi, was chosen to do something unknown. At the same time, Gi-Hong is still trying to cut the sugar biscuit even though it is very difficult. Gi-Hong sees Sang-woo has successfully completed the game. At the same time, Gi-Hong's sweat was dripping over the sugar biscuits. Here he got an idea. By licking the biscuit, it was easy for the biscuit to be cut according to its shape without breaking. Gi-Hong had licked the sugar biscuit on the back, causing the biscuit to be easily separated. While the Minyu managed to cut sugar cookies using a needle that was burned with a lighter first. Then Minyu gives the lighter to Deok-soo for the same purpose. Deok-soo manages to cut her biscuits with a heated needle. At the same time, other participants who saw Gi-Hong's behavior They also licked the sugar biscuits so that they could be easily separated. Nam also manages to cut his sugar biscuits as a result of licking just like Gi-Hong did. In those very short times, Gi-Hong managed to cut his biscuit even in its most difficult shape. There was an unsuccessful participant. Before he was shot, he stabbed the masked guard with a needle. And then grabbed a gun and he shot one of the game officers wearing a mask that had a picture of a square. He tried to kill the officer if anyone else approached him. The participant stated the game was unfair because there were easy and hard shapes. He got hard shapes. Then the masked guard had shot dead all the unsuccessful participants. The participant had forced the officer to open the mask, and the officer opened his mask. The officer was still a teenager, and the participant had shot himself. And after that, frontman came and continued to shoot the officer. Frontman said, "Don't reveal their identities, otherwise they will die." Meanwhile, Detective Jun-ho approached the masked officer with a square picture and took the mask. The square picture mask is a high-ranking one in the group. This episode 3 ends here. In the next video we will summarize Squid Game episode 4. To watch the next episode of this drama, don't forget to subscribe Addashuk Movies and don't forget to like and share. See you again in the next episode. Thanks for watching.